Hey, nice to be here. So I'm a GPU miner. I started mining in 2018, and it just basically grew from there. So I mean, I started with a single rig, and now I have almost like set about 1,700 GPUs under my management right now. So uh, learning a little bit about scaling and managing a large GPU farm is pretty much who I am.
That grew quick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I'm still. I switched everything over to ETH Classic just because the ergo difficulty hasn't adjusted. So not really any point in mining that right at the moment. But I mean, I'm only going to be mining until the end of the month, basically till October 1st, and then I'm going to basically turn everything off and just maybe spec mine with like one or two, just a handful of rigs. But the only reason I'm up online is because the entire month, the rest of the month has been paid for, so that's why I'm mining. 'Cause I'd be mining at a loss right now if I was paying for it. So
I wonder I wonder how many people are in the same boat, mining till the end of the month, and because they've paid for their power already.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to what to mine still, everything is it's basically negative, even it's very low power rates, and then like quite a lot, and it's been holding steady there for at least the past few days, which almost sort of needs an explanation of some kind, right? Like why are so many people mining underwater like this?
You can
yeah,
get a penny. You can get a penny if you are mining that one coin with perfect efficiency. Mhm. Well worth
Must
the
yeah,
mean these
wait.
projects are really good, right? A lot of people believe in them and are willing to get them at worse
I
than
think
market
people
rates.
haven't realized yet. Like people are mining, and then when they get their new power bill and they realize that they haven't got much for it, they might turn their rigs off. I think people are just like hoping that prices will skyrocket or go up in the next 30 days. So I think we'll see the amount of hash rate on everything drop in the next 30 days, hopefully. Yeah.
Good. Hmm.
I mean, that's one or two GPUs here and there, though. That's not what's keeping hash rates so high and power,
Yeah,
profitability.
difficulties are way up there.
Yeah. Let's let's do our little market discussion before we come back to this, because I
Yes.
definitely want to talk about that Reddit post. Uh,
Okay. So we only brought one chart today. I just brought a Dogecoin chart because I think the shape of it has just kind of represents the sector as a whole. It's down here in Sleepy, which if you've been on this ride before, you're familiar with this part of the ride. And maybe around this time you do get a little mini bump before the rest of the winter. Sometimes that happens. Um, but yeah, there's nothing super exciting, but that's news in itself. So take that for what you will. This is not financial advice, etc.
Yeah. All right. I think I have my sound back. For some reason, my big microphone isn't working currently, so I switched over to
Oh,
my. I'm currently switching over to my headset microphone. So sorry for the audio quality if people are watching, but yeah. It's always interesting, always when you get that person on that you really like to talk to. When you get them on your podcast, everything goes wrong, you know?
yeah, we need a producer. So if anybody out there in the audience wants to be one, let us know.
oh, there we go.
So, yeah, in mining news, have you been mining any interesting coins, Django? Have you, are you currently spec mining as well, or
Yeah, so I mean everything's mining ETH Classic. I have like 2 rigs mining Flux. And for me, I think Flux is like the most the most not profitable coin, right? So I almost break even on Flux actually. Because I was supposed to be paying $100 per rig, and on Flux I mine like $87 a month. So I almost break even on Flux right now. So if the
Right,
price go a little bit higher, that'd be awesome.
they've
But
got that
that's pretty much
Nvidia
the only thing I'm
backing.
spec mining. I probably at the end of the month I'll probably switch a few rigs over. I'll probably mine like Caspa and Neoxa as well. I've never mined those, so they seem interesting. See how they, maybe they'll take off.
yeah,
I
I
don't
think
I don't think there's a lot of hash rate on those coins. That's why they're so profitable.
that's
Anyway, or not, it's not as not profitable.
yeah, the bigger issue with a coin like Caspa or Neoxa is basically getting to, be able to liquidate that on the market is very hard currently.
Yeah, you basically can't. So
There's like two small exchanges. I think one of them is called Trade Ogre and the other one is I think TXBit or something like that. It's like basically exchanges I've never heard of before I started to get into looking into these small coins. But it's also a bit weird because that Trade Ogre exchange looks kind of sketchy as well. It has no KYC, no nothing. But I mean,
Yeah,
I've been reading good reviews about it, but yeah, that's about it.
it's been around a while, but yeah, it doesn't really inspire a lot of confidence. I wouldn't
yeah,
I wouldn't keep a lot of my money there, that's for sure.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little sick today, so if I mute a little bit, that's what's going on.
All right, all right.
Um,
No
Any
problem.
news that we want to talk about? I think there's some interesting things that are currently happening. Let me
well,
just.
let's pull up that Reddit post, because I think this is a good segue
Mhm.
from from the chart that we were seeing of, we're kind of entering depression, crypto depression here.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
so
Let me grab that
that
screen there.
do you have that? Yours doesn't pull up the graphics, I guess.
Let's
It doesn't.
pull open the graphics that you need. You want to start talking about it, or do you?
Sure, yeah, I'll just start talking about it. Basically, the guy did a really good analysis of the GPU market since the merge, and he converted all of the hash rate that was on every coin into 3070s. So like 3070 equivalent units of hash rate. That way you can make it, apples to apples with how many GPUs are mining one coin versus another coin versus another, even though they're different algorithms. And he's looking at what the hash rate is today versus what it was pre-merge, and it looks like 66% roughly has gone offline. But it's a real interesting situation, because despite 66% going offline, we're still seeing real lack of profitability. And then in addition, something that I keep getting bothered with is what's going on with the prices of GPUs on eBay. Used GPUs have barely moved. Some of them have even gone up. It's since the merge. It's like people are holding their GPUs. People are maybe turning off, but they it seems like nobody believes that GPUs are gone right now. Nobody wants to get out of them. Nobody wants to sell them off.
There's just that many people looking to build gaming PCs, and now's the time, right? That narrative is just so strong; it's supporting the whole market.
The liquidity hasn't gone up though either. It's not like more GPUs are coming online and then they're getting bought up. It's like we're seeing the same amount of GPUs going on eBay before, a little bit tick up, but not much.
I mean, I think that it just means that a lot of people still believe in it, right? People haven't given up on it, and I think that's important as well. You see if the price doesn't really move, then it just means that people are just holding on. And I was reading some Reddit posts as well that I saw a lot of people who just turned off their machines to do a week of cleaning and stuff like that. And that's probably what you're gonna do in a couple of weeks as well, right, Django?
Yeah. I'm gonna go through and clean all my rigs. They're dirty.
I mean, that's pretty much what we've been doing as well. Shutting down and doing repairs, maintenance, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, getting rid of those pesky, looking where we can take away some extra heat and stuff like that, because during the heat wave we had some troubles with overheating in our facility, and it gives us a lot of time right now to address all those issues. Have you been having a lot of overheating issues during the heat wave, Django?
I mean, only when my AC goes out. And so, I mean, I don't have to pay for it. They're like, we have a person that's on call that monitors it. And so they just come out and fix it whenever it goes down. But whenever it goes down, that's when I'm having. And the thing is, I'm supposed to have 3 of them like as backups, and there's only 1 running, and the other 2 are broken. So that there's working on trying to fix the other 2, but it's super expensive. So landlord's debating on whether he wants to fix it or not, which I mean, I don't blame him either. So. Yeah, I want to figure out something, because even when the AC is working, down some of my aisles, it's pretty hot. So I want to try and maximize the airflow on all my open frame rigs. Like none of the rigs have fans on them either. So just the GPU fans. And so that's why there's like stagnant hot air in those aisles.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's okay for now, but it's like now that I have so much time on my hands, it's like time to improve everything. So.
Yeah, there's time for improvement, and I think right now is the it's right now is the time, because just like you, we were so busy like tweaking the machines the whole time, keeping a look if if our hash rates were doing good and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, right now, we've actually turned off some of our machines, and that just yeah, there's time now to be doing that. So I will also be flying over to the U.S. because I'm currently in where I live in the Netherlands, but I'll be flying to the U.S. in the beginning of October to go to the facility and see what we can do up there. Uh, and to obviously also visit the mining conference, which I think you are joining us at as well, right?
Yep, I'm planning on it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So on the 5th, or sorry, on the 5th of October in Texas, there's a mining conference. It's called the Mining Conference, and we'll be there. So if you have any questions for us and you like mining, uh, you know, yeah,
Come find the
come
house.
visit us, come hang out with us, and
Yeah,
drink a beer with us. It'll be
gotta
fun.
Hit us
do it.
up in our Telegram. If you can't find us, we'll come to you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, back to the state of GPUs. I hate to say it, be a Debbie Downer, but I feel like we're in a period right now of this is the denial period. Still, nobody wants to believe that things are lower for this is kind of locked in. What I find interesting is because we do we source a lot of our stuff from China. We used to operate there a lot, and the price of GPUs in China has dropped dramatically. Obviously, they tend to be more, I guess, proactive is the way to say it. More into selling things when whenever things need to get sold.
Yeah,
Uh,
sometimes they are a bit apocalyptic even,
yes,
they're very like, "Oh, it's over now. It's time to dump
right,
everything on the market," and then
yeah.
it's just start yelling, "It's on fire. It's on fire. We must we must lose it as soon as possible." But yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's as well that's basically how you started, right, Rufus? Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I think it was during in your second month of mining or something like that, the big dip happened, right? Or was that
Uh, so I started mining. I started mining in 2016 when after it was about 4 or 5 months after the Dow hack. Um, you know, th- Ethereum had been going down for like 4 months since the Dow hack, nonstop, and mining was like making just ridiculous returns, and everybody was pessimistic as could be about it. And I was like, why are you pessimistic when you're making 100% return, more than 100% return year over year on a GPU? Um, so, anyways, that's when I got into it. Uh, Started the company in 2017. Um, kind of in the midst of the up roar, things going up like crazy, and then we mined through the downturn. Um, I'm not exactly sure what you were trying to get at there. Are you talking about when we moved to China, or because
uh
we moved the operations to China in 2018, 2019 ish, when things were really bad, and we did acquire a lot of really good, cheap cards at that time from distressed miners. Um, is that what you were referring to?
Yeah, yeah, that was what I was talking about. Yeah, yeah. So that was pretty interesting, right? So the market basically the bottom dropped out of the market, and then all the especially in China, people just started liquidating their assets, their mining equipment.
I
Um,
mean, things got really harsh in 2019 for a while. Everybody kept thinking it would come back, and just one thing on top of another would pile on, and then there would be another dip, and then it would just go down again. And yeah, I mean, at one point, we were able to get, you know, GPUs, brand new GPUs off of people that were going bankrupt, and like they had already paid for the order and they needed to pay, you know, debtors for their bankruptcy. And so it was just like, okay, here's a bunch of brand new GPUs and we'll sell them for whatever we can get. Yeah, I mean, I think we paid, I don't know, should I say this? Sure, it was a long time ago.
Probably. It's a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was 2018. Height of, you know, the downtrend. I guess it probably would have been 2019. And we paid about $60 a piece for RX 580s, 8 gig, 8 card rigs, including everything. You know, so it had like the PSU, the rigs, everything in it. And we were paying like $60 per card on those. And as I said, they were brand new. It was just, what could you say?
Great
That was
deal.
fun. Yeah,
Even
those
for now.
things paid us like, I think 20x on their
Investment.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I've been seeing you on your YouTube channel, Django. You've been buying a lot of new machines as well.
Yeah, I bought a bunch right before like a month before the merge happened. They were a pretty good deal. I mean, the amount I paid per card is actually cheaper than what you can get them for. The eBay price has not hit what I paid for them yet, so I still got them for a good deal. I honestly was expecting more people to be prepared for this merge. I thought that basically everyone that knew about the merge was going to sell their rigs beforehand, and everyone after was going to, like, that knew it was going to happen. But I was not prepared for how many people were like all over Reddit and like on the mining groups and stuff. Everyone's just like, I can't believe it's not profitable. And
But they're also
they
not
didn't
stopping
expect
as
it. They
well,
didn't
right?
expect it at all. Like they thought it was going to be just barely profitable or something. I don't. The math was all there. Like everything, it was good. We all knew it was not going to be profitable.
But it's
And
also
so
weird that a lot of people are just they're like, yeah, I'm just continuing mining even though it's not profitable currently. I mean, it's like
I'm blown away how many people are doing that too.
I mean,
But I mean, I'm going to mine with a few rigs too, even though it's not profitable. But I mean, it's not going to be. We're talking like 5 rigs.
yeah, yeah.
And so I guess I could see that. But I don't know how long I'm going to do that because I'm going to be paying out of pocket for it. So.
Yeah, I mean, it
Changing
all
the
depends
story, too.
on how deep your pockets are, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
the
I don't know how
future.
I'll keep doing it for a while until I don't feel like it's worth it anymore, and then I'll just turn them off and wait. Yeah, so I was expecting basically what I paid for the cards. I was expecting the prices to basically get that low, and so we haven't hit those prices yet. And I mean, I do expect prices to come down a little bit, like on eBay and stuff, but.
When the cleaning's done.
Yeah,
So,
after like a month or two, and people realize, hey, maybe I should sell these because they're not making me any money, and maybe we'll get a big selling pressure.
speaking as somebody who has lived through a few of these, you know, people are never prepared. Now, that said, there is a bit of it priced in beforehand. That's why we're not seeing prices drop like crazy after the merge, because you know, we saw it right before the merge. Prices, like maybe a few weeks before the merge, the price of GPUs did some really weird stuff. Like, I think 2 months before the merge, we actually had to increase our prices because prices of GPUs were going up still. And then,
Yeah. Not able to drop them yet either.
well, we dropped them like 2 weeks before the merge, maybe.
Yeah.
And then we've held them
I've
steady
watched it.
there because that's where prices are right now. Obviously the prices are low, but they're
Yeah, well,
not like,
any
They're not
lower,
like
and it makes sense for us
$200 low,
to,
like for a 3070.
I mean, that's actually my target price on 3070s, by the way.
Yeah. That's what
Um,
I think too. I think that if there was a bottom price, it'd be $200.
yeah.
Um,
So that's exactly 150 on 3060s and 200 on 3070s is my target price. And like what we will see is a lot of people in denial. There's a lot of companies out there, a lot of people who have borrowed money or have gotten investors or whatever, and they have payments to make. And right now they believe that things are going to come back, you know, that there's going to maybe they're operating at like 5 cent, 6 cent, 10 cent or below. But like they believe things are going to come back. At some point we'll hit some equilibrium, and who knows where that equilibrium is, but at some point we'll hit some equilibrium where people start realizing, well, it's not coming back in time for me to make these payments. The only way for me to make these payments is going to be selling off this equipment, and we'll start seeing the equipment hit the market like crazy. And the thing is, once it starts happening, people will start panicking, you know, at cascades, because they'll start seeing the price of the equipment drop. They want to front run it. They don't want to be caught holding the bag on these GPUs. And so,
Right.
yeah, I mean, but as I say, last time, let's see here. The peak last time was in January of 2018. And it ran all the way down. So I'm just looking at a chart here. I don't know if Jacob could pull one up, but anyways, it ran all the way down to from that like whatever that 1400 high down to $77 in by the end of the year, and people were still holding on. You didn't see the real sell-off until after that June 2019, where it went up and then it went back down. That's when people were like, uh-oh, this isn't like everybody thought in June of 2019, like, this is it, guys. It's coming back. It's coming back. And then when July hit and it crashed, it was like, okay, this is not going away. And so, yeah, you got your real good deals between then and then also back, also in March of 2020. Those were, you know, that's where people were just gave up. And, you know, we got to wait for that. It takes time. Takes time.
I'm looking the chart up, but I have to go back too much. It said 2019, right? ETH chart?
Yeah, just an ETH chart of
I'll pull the
yeah,
weekly then, I guess.
that's what I always run.
2019. Let me switch over.
We see if we had a you know, director person, we could share our screens and stuff. It would be a whole thing.
Yeah. Maybe you should switch from CEO to director.
There we go.
What date were you talking about? You were talking about March or?
So I just saying that between the January of 2018 and December of 2018, people held that whole time, and then in June of it wasn't until July of 2019 that you really saw people like abandon the market, and then there was another wave of people jumping out in March of 2020. And like the end of March 2020.
Yeah, and you can see it here, right? It's like a sell-off, and then there's a dead cat bounce, and then in the end it goes up again.
Yeah, I mean, whenever like it goes up, you know how people are in crypto, they get all hopeful and bullish, and they say, "It's back, we're back, it's coming.
It's better than before. We're going higher than ever." Yeah.
And yeah, and then when it goes down again, they go, uh-oh.
So how did you get into mining Django?
So I started because the warehouse that I was at had free power at the time. So and I basically this was right after 27 December 2017, right when Bitcoin, peaked up at, 17 or 20,000. And so I was like, man, now you can really make some money with this. So I just started looking into it, and I found some old ASIC miners on Craigslist for like $300. I didn't know anything about mining. I just was like, oh, I found this. I'll check it out. I think they actually only did 500 gigahashes. Like that's what the ASICs did. Like so on Bitcoin. So 500 gigahash ASICs. And I bought those, and they were making like 15 cents a month or something like that. It was nothing. And I was like, oh, okay. That was like my first, like, that's how you mine. And then, but they weren't making anything. So I was like, I started doing research, and that's how I found like you can build a GP mining rig. And I bought my first rig, and it was profitable. I mean, right after the peak, you was still making, a machine was making like $300 a month or something like that. And so I just started building them out, and I had free power, so the electrical cost was uh, no factor for me. So, and I built out about 180 cards worth of rigs in that warehouse and mine for free for almost 2 years.
Wow, wow.
Through 2019. And so it's like the prices, when I got in, because I started in the bear market, so Ethereum just literally did nothing except go down month after month. And I'm like, oh, it can't go down anymore. It would go down to like $700, and I'm like, man. And then every time we go up to 900, I'm like, oh, here we go. And then it would go down to $500, and then it would go down to 300, and then so that's what happened.
Trading in the bear market is the way to start, because
Yeah.
you build in that, like, okay, even if it keeps going down like another 90%, as long as it does it over the course of a year, I'll still like do 100% ROI. It's whatever, yeah. Yeah, I mean that's definitely the way to start.
Yeah. So I was always expecting I started to lose hope, because I mean that was my first time getting into crypto. All right. So I've been doing it for 2 years. The prices had done nothing but go down since I got in. And so at the end, I was started like in the March 2020 when Bitcoin went down to $3,000. I was like, oh, this was the mistake. But I held on to the entire time, and then it went all the way up, and I'm like, glad I made it through the bear market, because now I know what to expect for this bear market.
Yeah. I see as well. There's some people commenting. There's one person that says, "Wouldn't it be cheaper just to buy coins instead of mining them profitable?" Well, I mean, I think we all know that that's true as well, right? It's better to just buy a coin and hold on to it currently than to mine.